What's up, fight fans? Welcome to my channel. This is Johnny, and in today's video we're going to be going over the statistics that nobody talks about when mentioning this Wednesday night's fight here in Sydney, Australia between Sonny Bill Williams and Paul Gallen.
It is the most anticipated fight of the year, and I'm not talking state of origin, but it's for our Aussie boxing and footy fans, and we are joined now this morning by none other than Sonny Bill Williams.
Someone that charges his own players $10 a head to come to a barbecue at his house.
I think I'm in his head, yeah, for sure.
3 years ago, I went to him. Man to man, let's go.
He's a really insecure person. Part of me actually feels sorry for him.
Guys, before I continue, I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to everybody who's been with me since day one. If you haven't already, could you please remember to hit subscribe? Could you also like this video? Also, go down to the bottom of your screen, find the bell notification button, click that so you never miss a video. Also, guys, on the channel, we're offering a new feature, Johnny Says Boxing Insider. You become a VIP on the channel. What this will allow you to do is get betting insights, prop bets, parlays, method of victories, and become part of our group. It only costs a couple bucks a month. It really helps me out, really helps support the channel out. And hey, you guys can win a lot of money as well. All right, guys, the weekend just ended. It was a busy weekend in boxing. Covered the ladies card with Serrano and Katie Taylor, the trilogy, as well as the very next day in New York City between Shakur Stevenson and William Zepeda. We covered Playo versus Matias, Berlanga versus Shiraz, and we turned the page, and now we have a new week of boxing. Another really busy week. Bam is fighting. Usyk versus Dubois is fighting again. The return of Gary Russell Jr. Manny Pacquiao at 46 is taking on Mario Barrios. Sydney Siders, your boy is fighting again, getting another crack at Fandora Timzu, plus many other exciting matchups. But guys, on this channel, even though I was born and raised in America, I've spent since 2013 living like an Aussie here in Sydney. I'm featuring Wednesday night's clash, grudge match, call it whatever you want, about two legendary Hall of Fame rugby guys who also have had careers in the boxing arena. I'm talking about Paul Gallen taking on Sonny Bill Williams. Both guys on the rugby pitch went about their business a bit differently, and the same can be said about how they fight. These guys have been going back and forth in the media. If you're down here in Australia, you know for over a decade, they've been teasing us, they've been teasing the public with a boxing match, and I guess you could say, better now than never. Personally, I'm not the only one who would sit here and say I kind of wish this would have taken place long ago, but hey, it's going to be a spectacle. I'm actually going. It's at the Kudos Bank Arena in Sydney. So in this video, I'm going to break down both fighters' careers. I'm going to tell you guys how they go about their business, and like always, stay tuned to the end of the video because that's where I'll be going over the current Las Vegas odds, and I'll be giving you my prediction. All right, guys, if you open up your box rec, you'll see Sonny Bill Williams and Paul Gallen have official fights. Sonny Bill Williams has a win over Franz Botha. That dates back to 2013. He has a loss against Mark Hunt. You turn the page and look at Paul Gallen. This guy has wins, stoppage win over Lucas Brown, who at the time, a couple years prior, became Australia's first ever heavyweight world champion, and then he got stripped for allegedly not passing a drug test. That's a great victory, and when it happened, I was shocked to see how Gallen handled Brown. Granted, Brown wasn't in his so-called prime, but as a big heavyweight, Lucas Brown is always a problem for any opponent. He also has victories over Mark Hunt, a fighter in which his opponent Sonny Bill fought, and Sonny Bill actually lost to Hunt. Probably one of his most impressive outings was a loss against Justice Hooney. It was early on in Hooney's career. This fight went to the 10th round. Gallen got stopped. If you rewatch that fight, he was taking a beating, and the announcers were actually wishing the ref would let Gallen make it to the final bell based on bravery. But Hooney got him out of there. The one thing we know for sure is you got to hit Gallen with a baseball bat to get him to stop. So going into this fight this Wednesday night, both guys, like I said, way past their primes. I'm doing my due diligence as a Sydney, Australian content creator to feature this fight. I don't know many YouTube content creators in the boxing space going to feature this fight, so it's a tip of my hat to all the fans, and a lot of Aussies follow my page, so here we go. So right now I want to remind everybody what's at stake this Wednesday night in Sydney. All right, guys, after more than a decade of false starts, Sonny Bill Williams and Paul Gallen will finally enter the ring at Sydney's Kudos Bank Arena on Wednesday night. The fight will be held over 8 2-minute rounds. Another point of contention, with each expected to walk away with an even split of $1 million each. I did say 8 2-minute rounds, not 8 3-minute rounds. The one thing the former footballers agree on is that this will be their final fight. One last hurrah before retiring. Already they have registered low blows, delighting in digging up each other's drug dramas. Gallen's involvement in Cronulla's peptide scandal, dubbed the blackest day in Australian sport. Williams' admission that he dabbled in illicit substances early in his league career. Guys, Cronulla up the Sharkies. It's an NRL team, Cronulla Sharks. And Sonny Bill Williams, if you guys are unaware, I don't mean to throw shade, mate. Go to YouTube or go to Google and just type in Sonny Bill Williams bathroom. That's all I'm going to say. Their first face-off will be at a press conference on Monday, although both have thrown barbs from afar. When Williams finally gets a chance to stare down his opponent, what does he expect to see? And I quote, "I see a fraud, that's what I see," he says. "I see a guy who would argue with a 5-year-old to prove his point. We just don't mix. He's not my cup of tea. He never has been, never will be. The only difference is he has a track record of making it personal with every fight he's had. For me, it's the first time it's felt like a real fight, not a sporting event. I've got to get through the next couple of days, listen to him talk trash, say things to try to rile me up, but the reality is the one who has been riled up the most is him. He doesn't like the facts that have been pointed out that the media covered up. This guy is a drug cheat. He's in the New South Wales Hall of Fame. What for? For the longest losing streak? A reference to his stint as the New South Wales Origin skipper. Guys, those of you aren't aware, Origin is a battle of states in Australia in rugby between New South Wales and Queensland. From my American perspective, it's pretty much nothing I could compare to in American sports, actually. State versus state. They have a 3-game affair every year. And so Sonny Bill is referencing Paul Gallen's time playing that sport, rugby, and being the captain of his state and losing. This is not a good human being, and he's the one trying to come at me and give me a moral lesson. No thank you. The next few days can't pass fast enough. I just want to get to fight night and show him how limited he is. Both men have been able to parlay their feats and notoriety into a mammoth payday. Neither pretends to be world class, but both can hold up their hands. Williams was once the New Zealand heavyweight champion and briefly a WBA title holder, while Gallen's only losses against the credentialed Justice Hooney and Chris Terjevsky gained him the most respect from the boxing purists. Their boxing legacy will be bringing new eyeballs to a sport, with promoters hoping that record numbers will tune in when their stash is shown live and exclusively on Stan, which, like this masthead, is owned by 9 Entertainment. All right, guys, Aussies will know these two. Household names in Australia. Both Hall of Fame careers in rugby. When I moved here in 13, Sonny Bill played a version of rugby called Rugby League. That's the version that Paul Gallen played his entire career. And a couple years in, he changed to Rugby Union. Their rivalry goes way back. He was more of a superstar, especially when he was younger, and I feel Gallen personally probably always looked at himself as being underappreciated or maybe an overachiever. He really surprised me in his fight against Justice. Like I said, even though he got stopped in the 10th, it shows how tough he is. Probably one of the toughest guys you're ever going to come across. And when you meet Paul face to face, you see that in his eyes and his scars on his face. I expect nothing but a war. When you watch Gallen train, when you watch him box, when you watch his highlights on YouTube, he's going to put his head down. He wants to put his head on his opponent's chest and throw bombs over the guard and get you out of there. So if anything, 8 2-minute rounds, I'm actually for it. Both guys are up in age, long in the tooth, as they say. So if anything, I am expecting it to be entertaining. Right now, let's take a closer look at Sonny Bill's box rec and see what he's been up to. All right, guys, Sonny Bill Williams is 9-1 with 4 knockouts. He's not currently ranked in the heavyweight division due to his inactivity. He's fought a total career of 45 pro rounds. He carries into the ring a 44% career knockout to win ratio. The Kiwi is a 6'3" orthodox fighter. He was born in Auckland, New Zealand, but calls Sydney, New South Wales, Australia home. We last saw him in 2022 against Mark Hunt in a boxing match. Hunt was 0-2. Hunt stopped Sonny Bill in the 4th. Barry Hall, 0-0. Stopped him in the 1st. Falafahi, 2-14, won a UD in the 6th. Welliver, 55-10, won a UD in the 8th. Franz Botha, 48-8, won a UD in the 10th. So guys, from about 2013 to 2023, Sonny Bill only had a handful of fights. This is by far a rugby guy, don't get it twisted. He's just genetically gifted in his prime, like I said, super athletic, super long, speed, power, explosivity. When you watch him play rugby, he does all those things really well. When you watch him in the boxing ring, you see a rugby guy who's picked up the sport of boxing. What he's gonna have to do against Gallen is meet Gallen in the middle, not let Gallen back him up, not let Gallen get control of that front foot, because the minute Sonny Bill starts exiting and fighting off of his back foot and getting his back against the ropes, I don't think it's going to be too good of a thing for SBW. Right now, let's take a closer look at Paul Gallen. All right, guys, Gallen is 15-2-1 with 8 knockouts. He's not currently ranked due to his inactivity. He's fought a total career of 79 pro rounds and carries into the ring a 53% career knockout to win ratio. The Orthodox fighter stands at 5'10.5" with a 70-inch reach. He was born in Sydney, New South Wales, but calls Cronulla, New South Wales, Australia home. We last saw him in 2022 against Justin Hodges, 5-2, UD in the 6th. Justin Hodges the first time, 5-1, stopped him in the 3rd. Ben Hannett, 0-1, won a UD in the 4th. Chris Terzewski, 10-1, he lost to UD in the 10th. Darcy Lussick, 1-0, he stopped him in the 3rd. And guys, 2 fights before that, he fought Justice Hooney, got stopped in the 10th. And the fight before that, like I said, he stopped Lucas Brown. It was in the Lucas Brown fight in which the performance, in my opinion, of Paul Gallen didn't look like a rugby player who picked up boxing. And I gotta be honest with you, and I'm not trying to blow smoke, he looked like a boxer to me in that fight. Granted, it was 3-4 years ago and he's in his 40s now. What Gallen does best in the boxing ring is actually his pressure, his pace, his volume, getting on the front foot and throwing these strong, powerful shots. He has a chin of granite, all things considered. Him fighting his opponents. I mean, he fought Mark Hunt, one of the most dangerous K1 fighters and UFC knockout artists of all time. YouTube Mark Hunt versus Vanderlei Silva. I think that was a Pride knockout during the Grand Prix. Mark Hunt is a bad dude, one of the most vicious punchers in combat sports history, and Gallen beat him. So my point is, Gallen has some skill in the boxing ring. When you watch him operate, if you've never seen him before, I think you could attest to it. He knows what he's doing in there. He has a decent fight IQ and he got power, he got grit. This is going to be interesting come Wednesday night. When I look at the men side by side, it's hard to look past the age, guys. Like I said, I wanted to see this fight 10 years ago. We get old quick as men, especially in combat sports. If Gallen is the guy that he was against Justice Hooney 3 years ago, Sonny Bill's going to be in trouble. That's just what it is. But he took a lot of damage against Justice Hooney, and Gallen is up there. I know he trains. I know he does jiu-jitsu a lot. Go to his Instagram. The dude is always in shape, always fit, consummate athlete. Same thing with Sonny Bill. I think skill set wise, not genetics or athleticism, but skill set wise, I think Sonny Bill is going to fall short in a boxing ring. Before I give you my prediction, I do want to take a closer look at the current Las Vegas odds. Guys, these breakdown prediction stats on live videos, you're only going to get my money line prediction. If you want my prop bets, my method of victories, my over and unders and knockdown parlays, stay tuned to the channel. I do lives twice a day, every day. And in those live streams, that's when we get into the nitty gritty about our props and parlays. Just remember to hit the bell notification so you can be notified every day when I do go live. All right, guys, currently on the money line, Sonny Bill Williams is a $1.94 favorite, meaning you put $100 on Sonny, you get your money back plus 94. Gallen is a $2.25 underdog, meaning you put 100 on Paul, you get your money back plus 125. The draw is 750 to 1. Guys, going into a boxing match, I have never seen a draw with those low of odds. You gotta think 8 rounds, 2 minutes a round, both long in the tooth, both gonna be there in the pocket, a lot of close rounds. When I think that Paul Gallen's the underdog on this, I'm actually pretty shocked. A lot of that, though, has to do with popularity. We know that the odds are based on where the bettor's money is coming in at. When I'm thinking about where I'm going with my money on the money line, it is hard for me to pass up $2.25. What do the Aussies say? Up the Sharkies. I'm definitely taking Paul Gallen to beat Sonny Bill Williams. I think he's the better boxer. I'm expecting him to be prepared and show us that typical Paul Gallen performance on the front foot. Take one to give one. I think his pressure is going to be too much, and I will not be shocked if he knocks out Sonny Bill Williams. Guys, this is not an echo chamber. You do not have to agree with me in the comment section below. If you're watching this fight, if you're betting on this fight, who are you going for? The Kiwi or the Aussie? Also, stay tuned to the channel, guys. We have so many fights this week to break down and to predict, so be sure to subscribe.